Allo, bonjour, ciao. The JCBA states that there can be up to one speaker per class of service on a wide body aircraft. A purser is not prohibited from serving as a designated speaker. There can be two in main cabin on a wide body with 200 or more main cabin seats. There are no separate speaker pairings, and speakers may not necessarily be held to a pure speaker line. Speaker qualified flight attendants will bid through PBS in the same way as non speaker flight attendants. All flight attendants will be processed at their status seniority, regardless of whether they are a speaker or not. You can find the actual staffing requirements in the JCBA section 15.A.1. When bidding for pairings that require a speaker, you can use a property pairing ID. Enter the specific pairing ID in the open field. Select a layer to add that specific pairing to your pairing pools. Layover at City can help speakers when bidding as well. In the drop-down, enter the destination of your language. Select a layer to add that layover city to your pairing pools. Another is Prefer Landing at City. You would also enter the destination of your language here. Once added to a layer, this will filter pairings that have at least one landing at the city selected, not necessarily a layover. For the fact that speaker is not a designated position, using the preferred positions order will allow you to enter the positions that correlate with satisfying the speaker requirements for the pairings in your pairing pools. There is only one exception to this. If your general status seniority allows you to hold a galley position, you will be awarded the galley position and still receive speaker pay even though you are not one of the designated speakers. Flight attendants with 3 or more languages are able to designate the 2 languages they wish to use for bidding purposes. The system will only take into account 2 languages for awarding and assigning. This can be changed each month prior to the PBS bidding window. After you receive your award, you are able to use all of your languages for ETB, TTS, and ROTA, ROTA-D. To designate your language preference for the bid month, log into your personal mode in DEX, enter the code HILANG to view language qualifications. Using the Tab key on your keyboard will let you move down to the language you would like to designate. Type 1 or 2 to the right of the arrow, then hit Enter. Once complete, FOSS will display a message reading Language Designation Updated. I'm sure you are wondering, what is the difference between the primary and the secondary? Almost nothing. It will serve as a tiebreaker in the rare case that all things are equal. Your primary language will determine the language requirement for the bid month. If your language qualification is considered company lock-in, meaning you were awarded or assigned to a crew base on the basis of your language, that will always serve as your primary language. As a speaker reserve, manpower planning through the LRD determines the number of speakers on reserve, then communicates that to PBS. As you bid, the calendar under the Reserve tab will notate the projected number of required reserves per day based on your primary designation language. Please be aware that the number of non-speaker reserves will differ from the number of speaker reserves.